Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad that you like me right now, because by the time I'm done with this, some of you may not like me anymore. Okay. I'm like, how am I going to start this out? So, it's really good to be here with all of you at the summit. Are you all having a great time? Awesome. I'm so glad to be here. I wasn't planning on speaking, and then Kristen's like, hey, what are you doing at 2:45? And I'm like, I don't know, I guess I'm doing something with you. So here I am. So I have been tasked to talk to you about third-party voting. So you all still like me, okay? But first I'm going to talk to you about something else, sort of. I think a lot of times we talk about abortion and we see it very theoretical. We say to ourselves, we know abortion is wrong. We know that human beings are persons in the womb. We know that it is a human being, right? No woman has ever delivered a cat or a dog or anything else. We know that at the moment of conception, there is a unique and unrepeatable human being in the womb. Yes? Okay, we know that. So it's very interesting because, you know, abortion supporters will sometimes say to us, well, it's not a human being. And so then the challenge is, well, then tell me what it is, right? And then they'll say, well, it's human-like. It's like, nope, that's not scientific. Let's keep talking about science, right? Like, let's stay on task. And so sometimes, though, because abortion has become, you know, definitely part of the political scene, because abortion was made political when Roe and Doe were made into law. So that immediately put it into politics. But politics can also be a ministry of sorts. As we go canvassing and we're knocking on doors and we're talking to women and we're asking them, you know, do you vote pro-life and who are you voting for? And many women will open up to us and say, you know, gosh, I had an abortion all of these years ago and I've never talked about it. So politics can be a ministry in itself if you do it right. And, you know, as a woman who has had 2 abortions, and as a woman who has participated in over 22,000 abortions as a Planned Parenthood director, this is not theoretical for me. This is not just about talking points for me. This is very real for me. Because in 2003, I went through a medication abortion. And I was the person who reached down into my bathtub and scooped up my baby into my hands after it fell out of my body. I was the person who, with my hands, put my baby in a toilet. And I was the person who then had to make a decision. Do I actually have the guts to flush my baby down the toilet? And I did. I am the person who watched a 13-week-old baby fight and struggle for his life against abortion instruments. I am a person who has pieced the body parts of aborted babies back together. This is not in theory for me. And it is not in theory for the millions and millions of women who have had abortions. This is real life for us. It's not just a concept. Being pro-life is not just about holding a sign. It's real. And we have an election coming up in 2020. It is one of the most important elections of our time. We are this close to overturning Roe and Doe. Do you understand that? We are this close. We are so close, we can like almost taste it. It's right there in our grasp. And what does that mean if Roe was overturned? What does that mean? Does it mean that abortion is gone throughout the land? No, that's not what it means. But it means that it goes back to the states. And what it means is that about half of the states in the United States would make abortion illegal. And we know based on the raw data, two things. We know that when abortion is restricted, we know that women choose life. Now, abortion opponents will say, well, we don't know that. All they're doing is they're going underground. They're having these illegal abortions. But that actually is not what data shows us. What data shows us is that when abortion is restricted, not only do abortion numbers go down, but unplanned pregnancies also go down. Now, why would that be? Because now there's a certain responsibility put on us. Right? We can no longer be reckless with our sexuality. We can no longer be reckless with life because we don't have this easy solution at our fingertips. So people start making better choices before a child is even conceived. And really, I am all about being pro-choice with your sexuality. Choose abstinence. Choose something better for yourself. Choose to wait for marriage. Because you're worth it. Because God made you beautiful. And he looks at you and I can't even imagine. I mean, sometimes I'm like, ugh, God must look at me and shake his head. But really, I think that when God looks at us as his creation, he looks at us with this intense love. It's such an intense love, we can't even understand it. We can't even fathom it because his love is so great for us. His love is perfect. He has a perfect love for us. And that's a love that we don't understand because we aren't able to have it. "2020 could change everything. And if we get it wrong, guys, if we get this wrong, I want to explain to you what will happen. If one of the Democratic nominees becomes our president, every state legislative effort that has come to pass will be undone. Every one. Everybody went on and on about how terrible it was when the governor of Virginia talked about aborting babies up until the moment of their birth. And then he went on to talk about killing babies after they were born. Let me help you understand something. Every single person who stands up at the podium, who is running on the Democratic ticket, supports those same things. supports those same vile, barbaric laws. And we are fooling ourselves when we think we are making some sort of righteous vote when we vote for a third party. You are not making a righteous vote. You are making the vote of a fool. Because when you vote for a third-party candidate who has absolutely no possibility of winning, and no third-party candidate does, when you make that decision and you claim that you are voting your conscience, then I can only suggest that maybe your conscience is poorly formed. Because if you are willing to vote for a third-party candidate, then you are voting for the Democratic nominee. That is what you are doing. I don't want to hear about voting your conscience. I want you to vote your conviction. Are you pro-life or not? Do you want to end abortion or not? If this election goes how I think it's going to go, then whoever the winner is going to win by a small margin. And if there are enough foolish votes for a third-party candidate that end up going to a Democrat, we will lose. And you know what? Sometimes people say to me, Abby, I don't know how you can vote for that guy. Some of the things he says. Do you know abortion has a smell? Abortion has a smell. It smells like blood mixed with death. It's a smell that I've never smelled at any other point in my life. And when you have smelled the death of the unborn, when your hands have pieced together the bodies, the broken bodies of babies killed in the name of choice, when you have heard that suction machine, the sound of that suction is so distinct. And you know, the doctors begin the abortion procedure and they're waiting to hear one noise. And it is a loud and violent noise of suction. And until they hear that noise, they know that the abortion is not complete. You know what that noise is? It's the baby's head being suctioned through that suction tube. When you have heard the sounds of abortion, you don't have time to waste on a third-party vote. You don't have a vote to waste because lives are literally on the line. And you know what? I don't care what he says on Twitter. I care what someone is doing for the unborn. I am a proud single-issue voter, because without the right to life, no other rights matter or exist. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of your vote. Don't be ashamed to wear that pin, to stick that sign in your yard. Because when you cast your vote, you are voting to protect life. You're not voting for a personality. You are voting for the unborn. Thank you all so much, and God bless you.